Hello, and welcome to the Marvelously Morbid podcast. I'm Sylvia.
And I'm Matissa.
And we also have a special guest, Patricia.
Hi.
And, we're bringing you a pretty special episode today. What was that? We had some comments that our microphones are not loud enough. Our microphones, like we have more than one. Our microphone isn't loud enough, so we've got it cranked all the way up, so I'm sorry for all the mouth sounds you're probably going to hear.
And I hope you're pleased because it's deafening in these headphones. It hurts my ears. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, Matissa is not at all happy with you. But whatever.
Fuck me, right?
Yeah, it is pretty deafening. But anyway. So this is our first episode since we are going to the weekly episodes, which means it's going to be longer. So get a cup of tea, or booze, or Coke Zero, or coffee.
Water.
Orange juice. We're just going to name drinks.
Stare at each other.
We're just going to stare at each other and
for 45
scream drinks for 45 minutes. Yeah.
All the drinks.
I'll be like, mint julep. What's been going on with you all? I feel like we haven't seen each other in forever because, Matissa and I have been deathly ill.
And you know what? I can tell now. I said that your voice, that you sound 100% better, but on the microphone you do still sound a little sick.
Oh, well.
You sound fine, though.
It makes sense since I can't breathe out of one nostril completely.
Yeah, I've been sick since last Friday. I'm feeling better, but I'm not back to 100%. No.
Don't worry, that rustling and bustling you hear is just my dog trying to get comfortable on the bed. And that horrifying noise is just my chair.
There has to... I don't know. Maybe we should do some more research and try
We're
to figure out...
research. We'll do better next time.
how to fix this, because this is too much.
This is the end of the episode. Bye, guys! No, we don't know what we're doing. If you have any tips about how to make your microphone louder...
Can we do it on Audacity? I don't know.
Please
help
if you
us.
have any tips, anyone, let us know.
So we don't have to crank it up.
So we don't have to
hear
crank
every
it
little thing that
up
goes
to
on.
an 11. We're gonna have to wear what are those called? Earplugs inside of our...
I know, it's because I'm so sensitive to sounds. I'm so whiny. I hate loud noises.
Matissa's whined a lot. Yeah, we've all been sick. So
I'm trying not to cough, but I have to.
I'm dead.
Then I can't. Should I just leave?
Just get out of here. I'm mad at you for this.
I'm mad at you for being sick.
I want to hear about your therapy. Also, that was my dog groaning.
Oh,
that was either Matissa groaning or my dog groaning.
Was not me.
They're both groaning and moaning.
It was not me.
Oh, yeah. So Matissa had some kind of strange therapy. I mean, strangely effective.
Special.
It's a special therapy.
It's unique.
ART, accelerated resolution therapy for trauma, PTSD. It's supposed to work within just a couple of sessions. I mean, I feel positive. No, they use hand movements. Your eyes follow the hand movements. It's not hypnosis. You're in control the whole time. But
do you feel different during it? I mean, do you feel strange during it?
Not strange, no. I guess some people can, depending on how bad their PTSD or their certain memories are.
Did you enjoy it?
I don't know about that, but I felt like they make you go through and think of these, the memories you want to get rid of or replace the emotions attached to while you're following the hand, and you do that a couple of times. And then you go back and you replay those memories in a different way, with an outcome that you could think of anything, going in and changing the situation or totally thinking of something entirely different. While doing the with the hand movements that you follow, and they do that multiple times, so it's
That's so
replacing.
neat.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose the memory, but when you think back on those, you will have the more of the happy feelings that with the story you replaced it with. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's so neat.
Yeah.
It's crazy what they can do now with therapy and stuff. Wow.
So I'm hoping, I hope it helps. And I told him, it was the first time I'd seen him and my therapist, my regular therapist, the next day, that I'm, skeptical of everything. And I don't want to be positive, because then I'm going to be let down when it, in a week later, I'm like, it's back.
No.
So, but apparently it's very helpful, and I guess I'll do it again for other things in about a month.
Good. I'm really happy. I'm so happy for you. Charlie, why did you put your pee-pee on my phone?
He's laying it. Oh no, Charlie.
No, Charlie.
You're nasty.
You are nasty, son. You're nasty.
His wiener is on it.
Oh my god, now his asshole's on it. Charlie, why's your asshole on my phone? God. And he just looked at Matissa like he's the most innocent little angel.
He's pawing at us. He wants us to pet
He
him.
wants attention, but we can't always give you attention, Charlie. The world's a hard place, as we're going to learn later in this episode. The world is a hard place.
How do you think I ended up in that therapy? The world is unkind.
Get used to rejection now.
That's all it is.
Let it build your character, not tear it down. Oh, I wish I could take a picture, but your butt's on my
Where's
phone.
my phone? Somewhere. Patricia can get it.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Can you get back? No, he's
my
pawing.
God.
He's pawing at everyone.
Do you got what are some little quirks that your God's dogs or cat? Oh my God! Now he's whining.
That's not me. It's Charlie.
Do your pets have any quirks? Tell me about them. Charlie.
Uh-oh, here comes the other one.
No,
Handsome
great.
dude here.
Now we've got both dogs in here. Perfect. Well, I'm really glad that you're feeling positive. I'm feeling pretty positive now.
Good.
Earlier in the week, I was not. We went and saw the Foo Fighters, and they were awesome. At Rupp Arena, which...
Yeah, that's insane.
I hate Rupp Arena, but, yeah, it was a really good concert. They played for like 3.5 hours or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I was so sick that I thought I was going to die. I was broken out in a cold sweat. It was awful. But the concert was amazing. That's really all I've done. Except for work. Work with Jenny at Sam's Hot Dog Stand.
I'm trying to think of anything else I've done. The weather's been great. I mean, it's starting to rain now, but the weather's been perfect the last few days.
Perfect.
So I've taken the pups to the Arboretum every day.
I'm going to have to move because my foot is numb. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm good. So, before I get started, if you want to donate to us on Patreon, please do so. It's patreon.com/marvelouslymorbid. I think you can donate as little as $1. It's either 50 cents or $1 a month. And, we'd really appreciate it. Also,
T-shirts.
T-shirts!
Have we mentioned that on here?
Oh my
before?
God. No, we have not. So we have T-shirts now. We have partnered with an awesome company called Kentucky Craftworks. You may know it because it's my sister and brother-in-law's company. And we're doing pre-orders for T-shirts. They're $15, $18 shipped. Just go to our Facebook. I will pin the T-shirt post to the top of the page so you'll be able to find it easily. And go buy a shirt if you want one. No pressure at all. I mean, we're just going to block you if you don't buy a shirt, but if you ever want to listen to our voices again, you'll buy one.
No one's going to after this episode.
No.
Me repeatedly coughing into the microphone.
We're sorry. Matissa's sorry for coughing into your ear. But yeah, so just check that out on Facebook, and that'll give you directions on how to buy one. It's really easy. And you can also find us at Instagram.com/marvelouslymorbid, Facebook.com/marvelouslymorbid, Twitter.com/marvmorbid. And if you want to donate us a little money so that Matissa can go to the doctor, please feel free. She's turning blue. Get her, guys. Get
really,
her.
I'm feeling so much better. Really, I'm feeling great. I can smell and taste again. I can breathe. Oh, God.
Life's little miracles. All right. So, let's get into this.
Okay.
Do you guys know anything at all about the Golden State Killer?
No. I know he was recently caught, and he used to be a
He
cop.
was recently
That's
caught.
all I know.
Yeah, and he used to be a cop. Those are both true things.
I know very, very little besides the name.
Well, get ready for a real roller coaster of emotions. I apologize because some of this stuff's pretty bad, but I'm not going to get really deep into anything because I don't want to scar anyone. But if I accidentally do, then you can join Matissa at ART. So, hold on one moment. Sorry, my other dog, who is also determined to ruin this podcast episode, was chewing on a paper towel on the floor, so I had to take that. But anyway, James D'Angelo is his name. He's a 72-year-old man, and he was caught last week and is being tried as the Golden State Killer / the original Night Stalker / the Visalia Ransacker / the East Area Rapist.
Dang.
Did
Yeah.
they not just settle on one name, or?
Well,
Did
he
they not
started
know
out as just the Visalia Ransacker.
So did they not? I mean, when they gave him that name, those names, I guess they didn't know they were all connected.
Did they think it was more than one person?
Probably. If that's...
Well, when he started in Visalia, California, just ransacking houses and robbing, then, yeah, he wasn't doing the crimes that he would later do, so they didn't know that it was the same person. But I think that they have, they're pretty sure that it is the same person. And then for a while, he was just, I say the term just loosely, just raping women instead of murdering. And so then he was the East Area Rapist. And then when he started murdering people, he was known as the Golden State Killer. So, pretty hard. But he was a cop. So, Aster. Oh, are you taking?
Yeah,
Matissa just had to take her headphones off. You can. We don't have. You don't have to wear these. I can hear. I'll just tell you to bump up your voice.
Yeah, I won't be talking much. I think you can.
Aster.
Come here.
Come over here to Aunt Matissa.
Snuggle me.
Snuggle Aunt Matissa.
Come here.
Oh,
She's so sweet.
that was so cute. But yeah, he was a cop. He committed these crimes in the 70s leading up to 1986 was the last crime. He was a police officer on 2 different police forces. And he called the police to say, hey, this is the Night Stalker. This is the East Area Rapist, I think he called himself. Like, he taunted the police, but he was a policeman. But he eventually got fired for
being a rapist?
Nope. Okay. Nope. He got fired for, he got caught stealing dog repellent.
What?
And a hammer. Yeah. So
why would you need to steal a hammer? Why would you just go?
I don't know. I don't know of any of his victims that were killed with a hammer, but I guess they could have been.
But why would you risk stealing that when you could go buy one for like super cheap?
$5.
Sorry, just wondering.
And in the 80s, way less than $5.
Cheaper than that.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you why he stole the dog repellent. First of all, let me just give you all a brief overview of what he did. For several years, he just ransacked houses and stole. And then he went on to rape several women, 51. But who's counting?
51?
Yes.
Oh my God.
51 women he raped. And then he killed 12 people, I believe. Yeah, it was either 12 or 14, but yeah, so for years and years and years, he raped these women, and I can't remember the towns or anything, I'm just telling you all the general story of him, but he raped several women. He would get women in one-story homes whose husbands were not home. And he would go in and rape them. And he would tie them up. He would tie their hands and feet so tightly that they turned black.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep, and then he would rape them. And then he would leave them tied up, go ransack the house. Sometimes he stole cheap costume jewelry that wasn't worth anything. He would go in their kitchen and eat. Yeah, so he would go raid their cabinets and eat, and often the victims would say, they heard him rummaging around. Sometimes he would act like there was someone else there. He would say, like, put this in the car, or blah, 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 blah. But none of the women ever heard a second voice. So he was just pretending.
Did anyone lose their, hands or feet from
No.
that is so terrifying. I don't know why
They
that is
didn't.
freaking me out more
No,
than...
they didn't. They didn't.
But
Ugh.
But they lost feeling in them for several hours, I think.
Or
they
probably
said.
weeks. I mean, that's crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So he would do that. In one case, a woman's 3-year-old was in the bed with her, 3-year-old little boy. But he tied the little boy up. I don't know if he tied him as tight or what. Like, I don't know if he was being nice, quote, whatever. But he just put him in a different room, and then he would rape the mom. And when he would come in, he would say, I just want your money. That's all I want. If you give me your money, I won't hurt you. And then he would ask them where the money was. And as soon as the woman would start talking, he would say, shut up. Like he had no interest in where the money was or anything they said. Like he would ask them questions and then immediately say, shut up. Like he would say, he always talked through like gritted teeth. I couldn't even do it. Go like kind of like this. And he would say something like, if you scream, I'll end you and I'll be gone in the night. And he said that line to like dozens of these women. And that's actually Michelle McNamara, who's Patton Oswalt, the comedian's wife, came out with a book last year about the Golden State Killer, and it's called I'll Be Gone in the Night.
is that part of how they caught him? Is her research and stuff?
Well, I saw the press conference, and the police said no, not directly, but just the fact that she did that kept it in the public eye and stuff like that. So she played a huge part in this. But yeah, that's what he would always say, like, I'll end you for good and I'll be gone in the night. So imagine that. And the victims all said that he smelled weird, which now we know was probably the fucking dog repellent.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So several of the women that he attacked had dogs, but he, as far as I know, never hurt a dog. He would have the women go lock them up and stuff. But yeah, he would rape them like 3 or 4 times, stay in their house for several hours. One thing that the women all said was, get this, he had an abnormally small penis.
Small mercies,
I know. It's like good.
Yeah.
Good. Like
So
they
just
said,
small.
like comically small.
Abnormally small.
Like micro penis.
Okay.
And he didn't injure any of the women, really, but, you know, what he did was absolutely horrible, but...
Well, he injured them all right, you know, that's...
Well, yeah, I mean, physically, like, he didn't like,
beat him, he didn't.
Like, they didn't have any other injuries other than rape-related injuries, but he did have a small penis, so, yeah, small mercies. Look, no pun intended, small mercies. Yeah,
Have they checked the guy's penis?
Oh,
Have they
yeah.
compared? Is it tiny?
Well, I mean... They did say that they will be taking pictures of his penis. But yeah. And I think one woman referred to it as extremely small with a tiny head or something like that. Yeah. Because sometimes when he went, he would say, like, he would be like, touch it, or like play with it. So I guess they got their hands on it. But yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's awful. But... So then the police reported that he would get women when their husbands weren't. Well, first of all, it was like known that he would do 1-story homes. Well, then he moved on to 2-story homes because he didn't want to be boxed in. You know, he had ideas. But then they said like he would only attack people if their husbands weren't home. And then he started attacking them while their husbands were home. He was like, oh, nope. So he would wake them up. He snuck in their house like really stealthily, like hardly anyone heard him beforehand. Like one woman heard someone running down the hall, and then he was in her door. But most of the time they were sleeping, and he would be leaning over them and say, wake up.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he would, so then when he attacked the women and men, he would have the wife tie their husband's hands, and then he always retied them tighter. And he did this every time. Like, he would have the wife tie her husband's hands, and then he would immediately untie them and tie them tighter. He would ask both of them questions, and as soon as they started to answer, he would say, shut up. Like, sometimes...
Is that gaslighting? Like, some kind of crazy gaslighting shit?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, sometimes he would cry. Once, they said he was crying and saying, Mommy, Mommy. But then one woman said that he wasn't saying Mommy, he was saying Bonnie. And turns out that woman was right, because James D'Angelo had a girlfriend named Bonnie who broke up with him and broke his heart. So he was saying Bonnie. He wasn't saying Mommy. That's just what they thought it was.
Freak.
Yeah, but he would, like, one instance, a little boy looked out of his back window, and the Night Stalker was standing in his backyard staring at him. And, like, I mean, he was weird. He would hide in bushes. Like, the first people that he killed, he was hiding in some bushes, and they, like, ran into a backyard running after their dog who had gotten off of its leash, and it's thought that they maybe, like, snuck up on him, and he killed them. But he would, like, watch these women's houses for weeks. He would call them and hang up. Like, he would breathe, like, into the phone and then hang up on them. And the police didn't release the fact that he was calling these people for weeks and months prior to these attacks. So there were all these women getting hang-up prank calls, and they didn't know. They didn't know that was part of his M.O. Yeah. And, I mean, it was just crazy. So, getting back to when he would attack the women while their husbands were there, he would have the women tie their husbands up, and that wouldn't be good enough, so he would retie them. He would put the husband on his stomach on the floor, and then go to the kitchen, get a stack of dishes, stack the dishes on his back, and tell the husband if he moved, he would know, because if he heard dishes clanking, he would kill his wife. So that's what he would do. And then he would drag the woman into a different room and rape her. I don't think he raped them ever in the same room, but his MO was always the same. Woman tie the man up, then him tie him up tighter. Him put the man on his stomach, put the dishes on his back, say, if I hear dishes clanking, I'll kill your wife. And, then he would take them in the living room, rape them, go in the kitchen, eat. It's like sometimes he sat in the backyard, like, and if there were dogs, he would, like, throw them bones and stuff. Like, he would make friends with the dogs. Like, there were several instances where they would find, like, the dog in the backyard eating hamburger or something that he would bring. And he would always bring, like, strips of bed sheet, too, to tie people up with, and shoelaces. Like, he was very methodical. And a lot of times he knew the women's names. Like, he would call them by their name. So, yeah. It's pretty shitty. And then, after he had raped so many people, they had a meeting in the hometown. They had a meeting in, like, an elementary school about the East Area Rapist and, how they could prevent it or whatever. And this citizen got up and he was like, I don't see how... these husbands are letting their wives get raped. Like, that would never happen in my house. That would never happen in my house. A few months later, it did happen in his house. His wife got raped. So, the Golden State Killer was at that meeting and saw that. And now, there's, like, because there was a picture. There were pictures of that meeting, and everybody's like, who in the hell is it? Who is it?
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. And now that they know who it is, they found him in that picture. I mean, he's just sitting there beside this woman, just cross-legged, normal looking guy. But yeah. So after that, he graduated to killing. He would rape them, kill them. Sometimes he just killed seemingly random people, but his MO was always probably the same. There were just no people, no survivors around to say what he did after that. But he did this for so long.
But he did, the people that he killed, he did rape them too. Rape them and kill them.
Yeah, some of them. And he just went on a murderous rampage. And then now that we know, like, he stopped. In 1981, he stopped everything. There were no other crimes that anyone knew of, no killings or anything like that, until 1986. And then he killed one more person and then never killed again. And now, like, it's always been a mystery, like, why did he stop? Why didn't he just keep killing forever, you know? But now we know that James D'Angelo, he got married in the late 70s, and his first kid was born in 1981. So, for 5 years after his first kid was born, he didn't kill anybody. And then something must have, I don't know, something made him snap. I don't know. Well, nothing made him snap. But, you know, in his mind, something made him snap. And then he killed one more person in 86, and then nothing. And I think 1986, or maybe 1987, was around the time his second kid was born. So after his second kid was born, he just fell off the radar. Yeah.
He has morals.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not something a father does. You have to be young and dumb to kill. That's not something that a daddy does. Yeah, but how creepy. Just like putting the dishes on their back, and just the thought that he was at that meeting, like, weirds me out.
Right.
Yeah. What a monster. And I don't know. They said when they went to arrest him, I need to tell you all how he got arrested. So, I believe at this point they're saying a third cousin went online. I think it was like Ancestry.com and did some kind of... 23andMe, something like that. Yeah. And submitted their DNA for genealogy, and that's how they caught him. And yeah, he's got kids. He was married. I think I can't remember if his wife died or if they got divorced, but sorry about that loud barking. But yeah, they got tips on how he might act if they arrested him, so they snuck up on him. They basically waited outside of his house. They got some of his DNA out of the trash, and then confirmed it was him.
I don't want to know what DNA is in the trash. Never mind.
Probably nothing good. But yeah, so they thought that he might like try to kill himself or something. So they went and arrested him, and like one of the things he said was, "Hold on a minute, I've got a pot roast in the oven." What? Yeah. And one of the cops said that he was like looking like searching his brain for probably a plan that he had in place in case something like this ever happened, but probably forgot a long time ago.
Well, yeah.
Because he's old. He's old and hasn't committed... It's not fresh in his mind, murdering and all that. But yeah. Hold on, I've got a pot roast in. But they said he was like a real asshole, too, in the community. But, and he lived in a one-story house, so... He started out raping people in one-story houses, so I guess he just liked one-story houses. But he would call the police, and he would be like, this is the Night Stalker, or East Area Rapist. I'm gonna fuck again tonight, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Are you
Literally,
serious?
Yes. He would say, I'm gonna fuck again tonight, and laugh and hang up the phone. Like, he taunted them. Oh, and then one time he called, and all he said was, "Is this Ray? Is this Ray? Is this Ray?" And then he hung up. I swear, if you want to hear one of the phone calls, I listened to an episode of Last Podcast on the Left, and they played it, and it was just like, "I'm gonna fuck again." And then he hung up. What the hell? I mean, what the hell? But yeah, like, they never caught him, but... I wanted to tell you, if you guys want to know, because I don't want to get into deep details here, because I don't want to scar anybody, and also, I don't want to scar myself. But if you really want to hear every detail, there's an awesome podcast called Case File. And it's episode 53, but I think there are like 6 episodes within that, 6 mini episodes. And they're each almost 2 hours long. So it's very in-depth. And he talks about all the victims and stuff. But if you're interested in hearing more about it, you can listen to Case File. They're not sponsoring this episode. I wish. I wish. But yeah, like, what the fuck? I'll be gone in the night. Oh, I was going to play you all.
Yeah.
I'll play a couple of calls that he made. Let's see. Okay. I think this actually... No, this isn't the Are You Ray? Is this Ray? Is this Ray? No, this is just, I think, one of the victims he called.
What did he say?
Kill you?
I think he's saying bitch.
I can't hear. I can't.
Kill you, bitch? That's so creepy.
Yeah, so that's his voice. And yeah. He was a real piece of fucking work. Yeah, how interesting is that though? I mean, it's awful.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. Like the time, I don't know. A cop was doing this.
I mean, that's...
Yeah. Let's see. I've got a few questions. I asked you guys to ask us questions about the Night Stalker. So I'll answer some of those now. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, how the hell did they catch him after all these years? Well, I went over that.
Oh, yeah, the third cousin's DNA, so that they, like, match partial DNA stuff to that cousin? Is that
How did they do that? I don't understand. I mean, I know how it works because I've done the 23andMe, but how did...
like,
I don't think it's come out. I don't think the details have come out yet.
Because, like, my third cousin's on there. We're only, like, a 0.02 but genetic match. Like, it's not...
But how would they even...
So I
don't know.
Assuming... This is nice, but I'm assuming the government's monitoring the DNA that's submitted to
Oh, yeah,
them.
I'm sure they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I know they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, did they just have, like, certain people, maybe, that they
Guessing and maybe
constantly
they
check for?
That makes sense.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
And I can't even believe that they knew to, like, get DNA in the 70s.
No, me neither. But I mean, I guess they just took semen samples and stuff, and they didn't realize what they were really doing. Yeah, but still, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
and I don't really know how they narrowed it down. Like,
because I have so many third cousins on there.
Yeah, oh, me too. I have thousands of relatives on there.
Of relatives
like you were related to everyone, and they're all over the country.
It's so neat. I want to do that.
It's also terrifying.
It's terrifying. So just.
I got a new genetic report that says...
Oh no, do I have it too? I don't want to look at it.
No, it said that, remember I told you, it says I'm basically immune to the norovirus. Then the next day I got food poisoning, but...
Oh no.
And then it also said that I was not very susceptible to hypnosis.
Huh.
Which is so, like, how do they know that?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I need to do it. I need to do that.
It is, like... kind of fascinating, just the things they know. Like, they know everything. Like, they knew I had freckles, they knew I had blue eyes, they knew that I was probably bigger.
Huh.
And I even looked at that thing. I mean, a couple weeks ago I went in and actually looked at everything and like the percentage, because it compares it to all the other people who did the DNA testing. So it was, it told me, I have light hair, like you 87 or 97% of people with your DNA have light hair. You have light eyes. This many percentage of people, blah, blah, blah.
Alright, I need to do this. I really do.
I mean, it is.
And the weight thing, I even went in, they were like...
I have the fat gene.
Oh, no, I wonder if I have the fat gene.
You have... No, there are genes that were like 300 and some variants for like, that I had to weigh less. Then you have this many variants that will make you weigh more. There were like 700 and some, but I had more of the small. I think I had 50 less of the smaller whatever, so I'm genetically more likely to be average or thinner, just genetics.
Huh. Awesome. I bet I'm probably genetically made to be bigger. I don't know. I love that you're just playing with your own belly button. I looked over and weird things were happening.
Patricia was playing with her belly button, not me.
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely wasn't Matissa. Alright, let's see if there are any questions. Why the hell aren't they demanding genetic testing for everyone? That's also from Randy.
Probably because we're not a police state yet.
Yeah. Yet.
We're getting there.
Yeah. We're close.
And it's hard for me to say that I'm like opposed to that because I do think we need to do more genetic research.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time...
Oh, did you guys hear? They think since DNA has gotten so advanced, they've sent off something with partial DNA from the Zodiac Killer or something like that, and they're going to see if it gets any hits on DNA. Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just do that with
every killer?
Why don't they?
There's
I mean,
so
heck yeah, I'm going to get on this because I hope I've got some weird cousin out there who's murdered somebody and will get caught from it.
Yeah, totally.
Or other relative. Why are there so many killers in the California area? This is worse than when Dexter was working there. Randy is on a roll. I don't know, because the weather's nice.
And
everyone
it's
goes
heavily
to California.
populated.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's very populated. The weather's nice. No one wants to go killing in the winter. It's cold out.
The kind of people California attracts.
Beautiful.
Just saying.
That's funny. I never thought about that. Yeah, no one wants to kill in the cold.
Oh, well, I mean...
They don't want their toesies to go numb while they're murdering.
People just kill themselves when they live in those kind of climates.
Yeah.
Like the suicide rate's
really
high.
People are killing themselves
Not
when they
each
get
other.
murdered.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Janie. I don't know who Janie is. Is that my mother? It is.
It's Mummy.
Definitely is my mummy. She said, I want to know why he quit raping and killing. Well, now, everybody did for 30 years, 40 years. But now it's speculated he probably got two.
Oh my God. So his kids are like our age.
Yeah,
he
has
said the kid was
adult
born in
children.
87.
Yes.
That's when I was born.
So, can you imagine, like, you just waking up one day and you're like, oh, your dad's terrible.
Yeah, really.
Well, your dad's more terrible than you were.
Your dad's, he wasn't just a jerk. He was also a murder rapist. Oh, gosh. She also said, what was another question she asked? Was he married? Yes, he was married and he did have kids. I think he had 3.
Was he still married?
No, I think they were divorced. Of course, somebody tell me if I'm wrong.
Who's making
in a nice
pot
way.
roast for themselves?
I know. He was
just
like, I'm making
single
a
man's pot roast?
Yeah. The bachelor pot roast. Because he was a bachelor.
Maybe he was going to freeze it and eat it later.
Maybe.
Maybe he was meal prepping.
I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. He was very methodical, so he probably was meal prepping. He probably planned that pot roast for weeks. Called it, hung up on it. Okay. Oh, where did he work after he was fired from the police department? Oh, he worked at, I can't remember, like a store, like a Big Lots. Not a big, I don't think it was a Big Lots,
like
but he
some
just
sort of like box store.
Yeah, he worked at just a random
Probably
place.
Walmart.
Never had any more problems. Are these not the softest?
I just
leggings?
wanted to touch them.
Yeah, I'm wearing. My sister used to sell LuLaRoe, so I have some of her leggings that I got at a discount. Listen to this. That's how soft they are, Air.
They are super soft.
Not sponsored. I wish we had any kind of sponsor. I asked her, do you want to sponsor us? My dog will sponsor us, she said. For a price. Alright, well, I really enjoyed today's episode. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. Yeah, guys, we just ate a bunch of donuts before we filmed this episode, and they were delicious. Northland Coffee and Donuts, Lexington, Kentucky. Alright, well, thanks for being on today, Patricia.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thank you, Matissa.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Sylvia. That was Matissa.
Matissa has a bad attitude today.
Matissa has a bad attitude. She is sassy and brassy. Alright. Well, one more cough for the road.
Wait, I wasn't going to be able to say
goodbye
bye without coughing.
Oh,
Okay,
gotcha.
Give me a break.
Oh, okay. Let me live. Alright, guys. We'll, thanks for listening, and we'll try to do better next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.